All right, thank you guys. CD Alaves takes on Real Sociedad in a 1:30 p.m. Eastern kickoff. Society's catching even money for a win. Alaves is plus 310. The draw's plus 220 and the total's 2 goals. And following Tuesday's sports wagering action, I improved to 15-2 in my last 17 extra daily pick tier package plays on patreon.com/BrockPage. And that's a website where I sell really great sports pick subscriptions, beginning at just $1.99 through the end of the month. Now, the extra daily pick is one of those packages that I sell, as I'm also 20-5 in my last 25 picks in that category as well. And that's good for 80% during that stretch. I also have a bunch of different great memberships, tiers, and packages that you can subscribe to. And if you want to check out the website a little bit, maybe browse the site, check out my current record. A link for that website is in the description section below. And once again, that's patreon.com/BrockPage. Now, Alaves has won just 2 out of their last 8, which includes 2 shutout losses during that stretch. They were blanked by a 19th place Espanyol club by the final of 2-0. They were also shut out by an 18th place Mallorca team 1-0 during that span as well. They've also struggled offensively recently, averaging just 0.8 goals per contest in their last 5 as well. Alaves currently resides in the bottom half of La Liga standings in 14th place. They also rank 14th in total goals scored for this season. They're averaging just 1.03 goals per contest for the year. Now, Real Society on the other side has lost just 1 out of their last 9 themselves, with shutout victories against Valencia, Valladolid, and Mirandes in Copa del Rey action. Society's played fairly solid on the defensive end of things as well, allowing just 0.62 goals per contest on average in their last 8. Society is currently in 4th place out of 20 teams in Spanish La Liga. They're only 4 points ahead of Sevilla for that 3rd place spot. They also rank 3rd out of 20 teams in total goals scored. And speaking of the scoring, Society's last 2 straight failed to stay under the total of 2 goals. Matter of fact, just 3 out of their last 19 contests actually stayed under the total of 2 goals. Meanwhile, on the other side, Alaves saw just 1 out of their last 8 stay under that total themselves. Give me Real Sociedad plus $1 in the over 2 goals in that contest. And before we go ahead and move on, just want to take another quick timeout and welcome you to the video. Got some lines and personal leans out for Thursday's soccer action, but before we dive into some more of that, I just have to quickly remind you that once again, after Tuesday's sports wagering action, I improved to 15-2 in my last 17 extra daily pick premium plays on patreon.com/BrockPage. And of course, once again, that's a website where I sell really great sports pick subscriptions, beginning at just $1.99 through the end of the month. There's also a bunch of different memberships, tiers, and packages that you can subscribe to. A lot of great variety. We'll bill you the day you sign up and then the first of every month following that. And one of those packages is called the Extra Daily Pick Tier Membership. It's only $2.99 through the end of the month. And in addition to going 15-2 in my last 17 in that category, I'm also hitting at 20-5 in my last 25 picks in that membership as well. And that's good for 80% during that span. I strongly recommend you at least consider using the website for sports picks. They're my personal plays, games that I personally have action on. And once again, that's patreon.com/BrockPage. And with that said, let's go ahead and move on. I'm talking about Real Madrid taking on Valencia, and that's going to be a 4 p.m. Eastern start. Madrid's minus 250, Valencia's plus 650. The draw's currently plus 380, and the total's 3 goals juiced to the under. Now, Valencia's won just 1 out of their last 9, and that includes 2 shutout losses during that span. They were shut out by Real Society by the final of 3-0, while also getting shut out by Getafe in that same score. By that same score, they've given up 19 total goals in their last 8 outings. They also rank 14th in total goals allowed. They're taking on a Real Madrid club who's coming off a solid 3-1 victory over Eibar in their last outing. They also won 2 out of their last 3, including a very impressive 2-0 shutout victory over first place Barcelona. That was a week or so before the quarantine happened. Very good, impressive victory there. Now, Madrid has really played solid defensively this season. They rank first out of 20 teams in total goals allowed. And they're giving up just 0.71 goals per contest thus far in the season. They also rank second in total goals scored. And they're just 5 points back of Barcelona for that first place spot. Now, total-wise, just 2 out of Madrid's last 8 stayed under the total of 3 goals. Meanwhile, on the Valencia side, just 2 out of their last 9 stayed under that number themselves. So this might not be a terrible spot for an overplay here. Give me Real Madrid -1 on the goal line. Most books have that listed as a handicap bet. And that's going to be plus 105 if you bet it, if you lay the goal. And I'm also going to lean toward the over 3 goals in that contest. All right, moving on. Let's go ahead and take a look at some Portuguese Primeira Liga action. I'm talking about Boavista taking on Vitória Setúbal, and that's going to be a 2 p.m. Eastern start time. Boavista is the plus money favorite at plus 105. Vitória is plus $3. The draw is plus 205, and the total's 2 goals juiced to the over. Vitória is winless in their last 8 straight. They're currently in the bottom half of the standings in 11th place out of 18 teams. They also ranked 17th in total goals scored. They're averaging a piddly 0.76 goals per contest thus far in the season. They're taking on a Boavista squad who's coming fresh off a solid 1-0 shutout victory over third place Sporting Braga. Boavista also ranks third in total goals allowed. They're giving up only 0.92 goals per contest on average themselves. Now, total-wise, Boavista's last 5 straight failed to get over the total of 2 goals. Matter of fact, just 1 out of their last 13 actually got over that number. Meanwhile, on the Vitória side, just 1 out of their last 4 got over 2 total goals themselves. Give me Boavista plus 105 in the under 2 goals in that contest. All right, next and final matchup. It is going to be Sporting CP squaring off against Tondela, and that's going to be a 4:15 p.m. Eastern start time. Sporting's minus 210, Tondela's plus $6. The draw's plus 320, and the total's 2.5 flat. Tondela's been victorious in just 1 out of their last 7 outings. They were held scoreless 4 times during that span. Equally as bad, they've only been victorious in just 2 out of their last 13, with shutout losses to the likes of Porto, Setúbal, Santa Clara, and Guimarães during that stretch as well. Tondela averaged less than 0.61 goals per contest in their last 10 matches. They're in 14th place out of 18 teams and ranked 13th in total goals scored. Now, Sporting, on the other side, they've only lost 2 out of their last 9 themselves, and that includes 3 shutout victories during that span. They shut out Pacos de Ferreira, City Aves, and Boavista during that stretch. They are also tied with Braga for 3rd place in the Premier League and ranked 6th in total goals scored. And speaking of the scoring in this one, 2 out of Sporting's last 3 stayed under the total of 2.5 goals. Meanwhile, on the other side, Tondela saw their last 3 straight stay under that number themselves. 7 out of their last 8 also stayed under the 2.5. Give me Sporting CP -1 on the handicap and the under 2.5 goals in that contest. All right, let's go ahead and dive into some shout-outs, and we're going to begin with our Patreon platform. Shout out to Sean Parisi, John Johnson, Angel Robles, Jason Pena, Italiana43, Aaron D. Gefa, Alexander Richards, Don Ladisic, and Rodney Gray. Next, from our Instagram platform, shout out to Will Slade, Lamar Bowe, Joseph Robert, Owen Morgan, Taylor Stay, Tom Caselica, Chris Gonzalez, Bubba Jonesy, Ireda Fernandez, and Keto Borowitz. And finally, from our YouTube platform, shout out to Sox1, Irie Soul, Frank Bastidas, Darius McNeil, Dylan Schwartzman, Bo Dunn, Jess, David Arango, Sauce Sensei Master Drip Lord, and last but certainly not least, can't forget about my man, Nick Soto. All right, guys, that's going to do it for me. Don't forget to check me out on Patreon. But most importantly, guys, I got to thank you for joining me right here on YouTube. I really hope you enjoyed all this great free content, all this great free information. And with that said, happy Wednesday or Thursday to you, depending on when you're watching this. Happy hump day to you. And I look forward to seeing you later on today on my website. And once again, that is patreon.com/BrockPage.